Afternoon, friends. Today we are going to study about various kind of examples on force vibration with damping. We are going to study about the relation between resolution amplitude and static displacement. Now we will study the relation between the resolution amplitude and static displacement according to the examples as well as the graphical method. Now first step is we have to take the value problem, initial value problem, or we have to take the differential equation of the force vibration. The differential equation of the force vibration is u double dash t plus 0.125 u dash t plus ut is equal to 3 cos 2t, right? This is the differential equation. Now to solve this equation we have to find omega 0, f0 and zeta. So for solving the initial value, we have put the u0 is equal to 2 and u dash 0 is equal to 0. After putting the value of u0 is equal to 2 and u dash 0 is equal to 0, we get the omega 0 means the frequency is equal to 1. The force which is applied to the system is 3 and damping factor zeta is equal to 1 upon 64. The unforced motion of this system was discussed with the graph of solution given below along with the graph of ratio R divided by F0k versus omega by omega 0 for different value of zeta. How? So R upon F0 upon k is the force transmissibility versus omega upon omega 0 is the excitation frequency to the natural frequency ratio, right? So after putting all the values we can generate the graph. We can generate the graph as first is the free vibration. First graph this is shows as the free vibration as after putting the initial force the resolution amplitude is higher, but after some time the resolution amplitude is going to be decreased at an interval, right? Also putting the different value in this graph, we can find the value of zeta at different positions, right? Recall the value of omega 0 is equal to 1, f0 is equal to 3 and zeta is equal to 1 upon 64, right? If we are taking these three values, the solution for the low frequency case omega is equal to 0.3 is graphed below, right? So this graph which is generated is for the omega is equal to 0.3. As per this graph, the vertical distance is measured as the response amplitude and the horizontal distance between two consecutive points means this distance, right? This distance is static displacement, right? Means this horizontal distance measured as static displacement, right? So after the transient response is substantially damped out, the steady state response is essentially in phase with excitation, and the response amplitude here this response amplitude is larger than the static displacement, right? Specifically we can find the value of R is equal to 3.2939 which is greater than f0 upon k is 3, right? And the value of delta is equal to 0.041181. Now this is the case 1. If we are taking the different value of omega 0, f0 and delta, right, means the value of omega 0, f0 and delta, the solution of for the different value omega is equal to 1, solution of different value omega is equal to 1, then we can generate a different kind of graphs in which the response amplitude is going to be increased. Response amplitude is going to be increased as the steady state response amplitude is 8 times of the static displacement, right? Where the r is taken as 24, which is greater than f0 upon k is equal to 3, but the delta is equal to pi by 2, right? Means pi by delta is the response lag excitation, right? Which is already studied by us in this chapter of force vibration. Now for another value of the omega, right? For same value of omega 0, f0 and zeta, the solution for the relatively high frequency omega is equal to 2 is graphed below along with the forcing functions, right? Here the amplitude, response amplitude is about the third of the static displacement. Why? Because the frequency is going to be increased. Here the frequency, excitation frequency is high, and due to the excitation frequency the force transmissibility is going to be higher. So the steady state response is out of phase with excitation, and response amplitude is about the 1/3 of the static displacement. Specifically, R is equal to 0.99655, which is less than F0 upon K is equal to 3 and delta is equal to 3.0585, which nearer to pi. Now, undamped equation. Suppose there is a no damping term, right? Suppose there is no damping. So, our equation is generate as mu double dash t plus ku t is equal to f0 cos omega t. Assuming omega 0 is not equal to omega, right? Why? Because if the value of omega 0 is equal to omega, then it's a resonance position, so we can't find the general solution for the omega 0 is equal to omega. So it is a general differential equation for the vibration system. So assuming omega 0 is not equal to omega, then the method of undetermined coefficients can be used to show that the general solution is ut is equal to C1 cos omega 0 t plus C2 sin omega 0 t plus F0 divided by m omega 0 square minus omega square cos omega t. Here from this equation you can easily understood that why we can't take omega 0 is equal to omega, right? Because at the resonance position in this equation, if the omega 0 is equal to omega, then this value is becomes 0, right? M omega square minus omega square is become 0. So the force transmissibility, which is we can get the infinity, right? So this is a mathematical error, or we can find the general solution for the resonance position. Now, undamped equation for the mass initially at rest. If the mass is initially raised, then the corresponding initial value of the problem is, the equation is mu double dash t plus ku t is equal to f0 cos omega t, right? Now the damping is not produced in this equation, so we can't write the u dash t, right? Why? Because the u dash t for the damper, but here the damper is absent. Now putting the value of u0 is equal to 0 and u dash 0 is equal to 0 for the initial value. Recall that the general solution for the differential equation is ut is equal to c1 cos omega 0 t plus c2 sin omega 0 t plus f0 divided by m omega 0 square minus omega square cos omega t. This is the general solution for the differential equation. Using the initial conditions to solve the C1 and C2, right? In the general solution, the C1 and C2 is the constant, right? The value of C1 and C2 is changed, or is changed with respect to initial conditions. So we have to find the value of C1 and C2 to solve this general solution of the differential equation of vibration. So putting the value of u0 is equal to 0 and u dash 0 is equal to 0. After putting both value in the general solution equation, we can get the value of C1 is equal to minus f0 divided by m omega square minus omega square, and C2 is equal to 0. Hence, putting the value of C1 in the equation of general solution, we can get C1 cos omega 0 t, right here. If you are putting this value at here, then we can get ut is equal to minus f0 divided by m omega 0 square minus omega square into cos omega 0 t. But here the same equation is available, f0 divided by m omega 0 square minus omega square into cos omega t, but the sign is plus positive and here the sign is negative, so both term is going to be cancelled. So hence hence the value which is we can get the ut is equal to f0 m omega square minus omega square in bracket cos omega t minus cos omega 0 t, right? And here this this term is going to be 0. Why? Because the value of C2 is equal to 0. Now we have the our solution. Thus our solution for the undamped equation is ut is equal to f0 divided by m omega square minus omega 0 square minus omega square cos omega t minus cos omega 0 t. To simplify this solution even further, let a is equal to omega 0 plus omega by 2 and b is equal to omega 0 minus omega by 2. Then a plus b equal to omega 0 t and a minus b is the omega t. Using the trigonometry identity, right, cos a plus or minus b is equal to cos a cos b minus or plus sin a sin b, right? So this is the equation, this is the trigonometry equation, and we are going to use the equation cos omega t is equal to cos a cos b plus sin a sin b, and cos omega 0 t is equal to cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. Hence cos omega t minus cos omega 0 t is equal to 2 sin a sin b, right? So we are going to put this value in this equation. Using the result of the previous slide, it follows that ut is equal to 2f0 divided by m omega 0 square minus omega square sin omega 0 minus omega t by 2 whole bracket sin omega 0 plus omega t by 2. When omega 0 minus omega is equal to 0, right, when the resonance is occurs, when the resonance is occurs, then the omega value of omega 0 is equal to omega. So the omega 0 minus omega is equal to 0, and the value of omega 0 plus omega is equal to twice time omega 0 or twice times the omega, which is high, which is much higher than omega 0 minus omega, and sin omega 0 plus omega t by 2 oscillates more rapidly than sin omega 0 minus omega t by 2. Thus the motion is rapid oscillation with frequency omega 0 plus omega by 2, which is generally maximum as omega, but with slowly varying sinusoidal amplitude, which is given by twice time f0 divided by m omega square minus omega square sin omega 0 minus omega t by 2. This phenomena is called as a beat. Beats occurs with two running forks of nearly equal frequency, right? Means, or you can say that when the resonance occurs during the vibratory system, then beat is going to be occurs. Why? Because during the resonance the omega 0 is equal to omega, so the value of omega 0 plus omega is going to be maximum, right? So at the maximum maximum frequency, the beat phenomena is going to be occur. So for this condition, or you can say for the resonance, the beat is going to be produced. Now the undamped equation, when mass initially at rest, this is the second equation, a second example of the vibratory system is going to be studied by us our in next lecture.